Joseph Ulmer here. It's about that time of year again where it's finally starting to get nice enough that we can pull the bikes out and go for a ride. Now, I got some tips and some pointers that I want to share with you guys for checking your bikes out and getting them ready for riding season. Before we get into that though, do me a favor, if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please hit the subscribe button now. If you've already hit it, make sure you've hit the notification bell so you get notifications on all my upcoming videos. And don't forget to rate this when it's all over. And as always, if you have any questions, throw them down in the comments section. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. Now, first things first, if you have 19 tags in the state of Missouri, they will expire at the end of April. So make sure you get your motorcycle inspected at any motorcycle inspection station in the state. Now, some of the things you want to look at, even if you don't have to have your bike safety inspected. You want to check out the condition of your brake pads. Make sure you have plenty of brake pad. Make sure your highway pegs, if you have them, are good and tight. Your regular foot pegs are good and tight. They're not loose. If you happen to have pegs on your controls, make sure they're tight. And the reason I say that, I had a different set of highway pegs on this motorcycle last year. They were tight at the beginning of the season. One night I was on my way home from work. This one actually came loose and broke off. Now, it was not one of these pegs. It was just one of the cheap, generic highway pegs. I didn't really care for them, but they were on here when I got the bike, so we'll go with it. Check all your fluid levels. Most motorcycles have a separate front and rear master cylinder. On this particular bike and most motorcycles, your rear master cylinder is going to be somewhere near the rear brake pedal, which, if you ride, you know that's going to be on your right hand side. Your front master cylinder, same way, it's going to be right there by your front brake lever, in most cases. Some motorcycles like this one do have a hydraulic clutch, so make sure you check the level of your hydraulic fluid for your clutch. If you have a cable operated clutch, you don't have to worry about that so much. Just make sure that the cable's in good shape and it doesn't look rusty or corroded in any way. Check your tire pressures, front and rear. They may have been fine last season, but you got to remember this bike's been sitting. My bike, I've had it out, I've ridden it twice since mid-October. So I'm definitely going to check the tire pressures. I'm also going to check the condition of the tires. You want to look at your tires for tread depth, which this tire was new at the beginning of last season, so I'm not too terribly worried about it. And I can definitely see, I don't see any scalloping or abnormal wear patterns in the front tire. The rear tire, this is actually the dark side tire. This is the car tire that I put on here, guys. You saw my video on that. If you haven't, I'll throw a link up here. I'll also throw a link up to the 2,600 mile review I did on it. I actually have 2,600 miles on this tire. That one I'd have to look back and see how many miles I have on it, but I believe I did do a video when I put that tire on, and that's a Metzeler Marathon. Now, be nice to your passengers. Check out your passenger pegs, make sure they're on. Check out your exhaust. Just make sure you don't have any loose fasteners on the bike. Check all your lights. Make sure all your turn signals work if your motorcycle has them. Some bikes don't. Make sure your brake lights work. Make sure both your high and low beams work. Any other lights you have on your motorcycle, make sure they work. Make sure your mirrors are intact and aimed properly, guys. And I'm going through all these things because we have, as motorcyclists, enough things stacked against us when we're out there on the road. There's people texting and driving. There's people that just don't pay any attention. You name it, it's out there. So we need to make sure that when we leave home to go out for a ride, everything that we can do to make sure that our motorcycle is safe and ready to go has been done. That way we have a better chance of making it home safely, and if something does happen, it's not caused by failed safety equipment on our motorcycle. And guys, I know a lot of people like these custom bikes and custom lighting and things of that nature. The only thing I can say is make yourself as visible as possible. That way people see you. And I know some people don't like them. This bike is actually pretty quiet compared to my wife's bike and both of her bikes. But the louder they are, the more prone people are to hear you and take notice that you're there. So I know people gripe about having, you know, loud exhaust on some of these bikes, but, you know, guys, I'm sorry. That helps people pay attention to us. Now, on a bike like this, check your coolant level. Every bike, check your oil. This one has a dipstick in the crankcase. Depends on the manufacturer of your bike. Check your operator's manual for how to check the fluid level in your particular motorcycle and where to check it. This bike has a rear differential. It is a shaft drive. Now, keep your eyes posted to the channel. I will be taking you through a video on servicing this bike and also servicing my wife's VTX. They are both due. I want to change the fluid in the rear ends on both of them, change the engine oil. I need to check out all the coolant. I'm actually going to have to put a battery in my wife's. We bought it last year. The battery was marginal. We purchased it late in the year, so I decided not to put a new battery in it until spring. That way I would get the most out of the warranty on the battery. This bike actually got a new battery in it mid-season last year because I was riding this thing every day. Now, guys, go over, just make sure everything works properly, everything functions properly, everything is properly attached and tight, and be safe out there. Hopefully I'll see some of you guys out on the road. If you happen to see me, let me know, because if I'm on a trip, I'd be more than happy to ride with you for a while if you're out there running around. So guys, do me a favor, like I said already, please rate the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And we will see you out there on the road. Be safe, guys.